Hello, my beautiful friends. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day, a wonderful start to this new year, this new decade. Today I want to dive a little deep and just talk a little bit about some of what happened in 2019. Some of the reasons why I wasn't sharing in this space, and that's just what's gonna go down. I actually filmed this video yesterday and I was skirting around what I actually needed to talk about so much that I was just rambling about so many other things. And I have this thing that happens where spirit decides to kind of block my throat chakra when I am not sharing my truth. And so this is what we're here to do today. So I'm not going to get too much in depth, too much in detail about everything that has transpired, because there are certain things that I want to keep private right now. Maybe in the future I will share more on specific subjects when it's not so like fresh, I guess. So 2019 was a doozy. A lot happened, mainly at the end part of 2019 and the beginning, honestly. The beginning and the end, honestly just the entire year, because a lot of things were going on, sorry, cracking my knuckles. A lot of things were going on as far as my relationship towards the beginning of the year, end of 2018, going into 2019. And things were just kind of simmering throughout like the summertime, and then it came to a head again in about like August or so. If you've been following me for a while, you have heard me share a little bit about my relationship, not too much in depth about my relationship. When my daughter Luna was born, a lot of things shifted, obviously, within me, and in turn that made things shift in my relationship, and that all just kind of was something that we all had to process over the past few years. And so much has been going on around us that I feel like we haven't really gotten the chance yet to address the things that needed to be addressed. And so many things just built up on top of each other, and so many things I just wasn't fully aware of. So many things about myself, so many things about my partner, so many things about everything, about life. And yeah, everything's just kind of, I don't know, boiled over. So like I said, a lot has transpired this year. I started working again. I started doing Shift in the beginning of the year, and then I transitioned to a big girl job, I guess, where I was making more money than I've made in my life. And I also fucking hated it. It was terrible. I know that I needed to do that in order to get to where I am now, but at the time it was the worst. So I left that job after about a month in August, and then I started my current job, which I'm working at, which is just great, really low-key, really chill. Honestly, is something that like I probably wouldn't have thought that I would be doing at 25, but I'm very happy with where I'm at. I'm very satisfied. I work at a little vegan cafe. I get everything that I need from my current job without the stress, even though that more official job, I got paid more. I was paying more myself with my mental health and sacrificing my physical health too. I've been on a very long journey of self-discovery since Luna was born. Postpartum depression was really a catalyst into really healing myself, not only physically, but emotionally, spiritually, in every single way. And I didn't really realize that once I started the journey of like healing myself physically, which was like my postpartum depression and anxiety, my digestion issues, all that stuff, I didn't realize that when I started that, everything else would come up and need to be healed as well. And I think that's something that's really important to remember when we are on our journeys, is that it's not just gonna be like we go through the shit and then it gets better and then that's it. Once you go through the stuff and you process all of that, you give yourself space to be open to all of the other things that you need to deal with and all of the things that you need to heal from. And it's really an invitation. It's not like, oh God, now it's another thing, even though it feels like that sometimes. It's really an invitation to dive deeper into yourself and learn more about yourself. And yeah, it's really, truly a gift. That being said, it was definitely throwing a lot of curveballs in life, and this year has been a lot of letting go for me, a lot of letting go of expectations of the way that I thought things should be, of the way that I thought that I wanted things to be, and all of these preconceived notions and ideas of just the trajectory of the way that I thought my life would be going. It's felt like a death in a way, in many ways. There's been a lot of death going on, not like actual death, but a death of, you know, letting go of certain things that I wanted from specific people, letting go of these ideas of people that I had, these ideas of myself, really welcoming this new and more open and free-flowing version of myself into my life, because that's what I've always wanted to be. That's what I have always been. But I just somehow got stuck into the cycle of like, oh, this is what I need to do. This is what I really want. This is blah, 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 whatever. And life really likes to throw things at you when you think that you have things figured out. And that's basically what this year has been like. It's been a lot of following my intuition, of following my instinct, whether it makes sense or not. I regret nothing. I regret absolutely nothing. Because every decision that I made was made with thought and heart and love and my best interest in mind. That may sound like selfish, but that's all we have. This is a whole nother topic, but I've just been so stuck in this mindset of giving so much to other people and wanting to make other people happy for so much of my life, and I've been unraveling that over the past few years, and it has brought up a lot inside of me. It has brought up a lot inside of other people I've seen, because they are not doing that, and so they see it as something negative. And especially the way that I grew up, sometimes doing things for your highest good means not doing things for someone else's highest good. Sometimes that means not doing something that someone else likes, not doing things that make other people happy. If I'm being completely honest, my relationship hasn't really been at the forefront of my mind for a while. I have been focused on it to a certain extent, but my focus has definitely been more so on my well-being and what I need to be doing, and like I said, serving my highest good. And I know in turn that will flow back into whatever relationships that I'm in, because everything is connected. And in order to serve and give and love the way that I desire to, the way that I deserve to, and to be loved in that way, I have to do the work for myself. So I've definitely been focused a lot more so on that, rather than kind of diving deep into doing the work of my relationship. There's a lot going on. Cracks can form, and a lot of things were not prioritized. A lot of things were not talked about. There was just a lot of not communicating going on. Even communicating, but not understanding, not comprehending. Things just kind of came to a head. The pot just kind of boiled over. A lot of stuff that wasn't fully processed or dealt with in the past, that was coming up again, and it was finally just like, this shit needs to be dealt with right now. Like I said, I'm not going to get too much in detail about every little thing that happened, because that's for me and my partner and anyone else that I decide to share more of this journey with. But what I can say is that in September, not too soon after I left my job, I decided that I was going to go to a women's retreat. And this decision was made for a lot of different reasons. Everything just kind of aligned and fell into place to where I was able to do it, and I had the money to do it. And when I am able to have the opportunity to invest in myself, and something keeps coming up for me and keeps like showing up in my life, I'm like, okay, there's a reason why this is happening. Obviously, I am supposed to look more into it. So everything just kind of lined up, and it felt really good for me. And right before I went to do that, like I said, there was just a lot of stuff going on, and I made the decision that I did not want to be in a relationship anymore. It was the hardest decision that I've ever made in my life, honestly. But it was something that I knew that I needed to do, and I had known that I needed to do for a long time. I didn't have a lot of confidence in the decision, other than purely the fact that I knew that I needed to trust my intuition. So I went into going to the women's retreat wanting clarity. I actually had a reading, a spiritual reading or an intuitive reading with Synergy Soul, or Brittany Huggenboom. God, I love her. And I received so much clarity from her. And then when I went to the retreat, I received even more clarity. So when I came back from that experience, full of so much love and so much strength and so much new motivation, and so much more connected to myself and everything around me and Gaia, the earth. God, I miss it so much. Walking around barefoot, so incredible. And I am definitely going to be sharing more about the women's retreat in the future, because I'm actually on the leadership committee for 2020, and I'm super stoked about that. I actually need to post on their Instagram today, our Instagram today, and it's just a really beautiful movement experience that I am so proud, excited, happy to be a part of. I received everything that I needed when I came back. That doesn't mean that anything was easy when I came back from the retreat. Actually, a week or two after I came back from the women's retreat, I went to California to go visit my sister, which was, again, exactly what I needed. I just needed that support from her. And I just really fucking love my sister. She's the best. I feel like a lifetime has passed in between that time and where I am now. Even though it's only been like a couple months, it feels like an entire decade has gone by. There was a lot of shit going on before I left for the retreat, and then even more so when I came back. And it was fucking difficult. It was really fucking hard. I can say now that things are in a good place. I'm still not ready to fully put myself in the role or the position of being in a relationship right now, because I just need to find the balance. I need to be able to be connected and rooted in myself enough so I don't lose myself when other things are being added into my life. And I've never learned how to do that. I met my partner when I was 19. I moved out when I was 20. I got married at 21. I got pregnant also at 21. I had a child right before I turned 22. And it's been a fucking lot. It's been a lot. And we haven't been able to give all of the time and the attention into our relationship and each other and our individual selves as we have needed to. We've basically been working in survival mode without really realizing it. And everything just really just came to a head. And there were things that needed to be addressed that couldn't be, ignored or glossed over anymore. I don't really have a resolution. I don't really have a solution. I don't really have a this is what I did, this is what happened, this is where we're at now, because I feel like we're still very much in the midst of things. Things are so much better than they were before. We're communicating, we're relating in ways to where we're actually seeing and hearing each other and not being on completely different planets, even though it feels like that sometimes, to be perfectly honest. And I'm really grateful for that. I am not ready to start doing the really, really, real work that I know that needs to be done, and putting the time and attention and effort into all of that yet. I don't know when that's going to happen. That could shift within a month or a week. Who knows? But as of right now, I have a clear set of intentions and things that I'm focusing on right now. And really that is grounding myself and making sure that I am in a place of stability within myself, within my health, within my mental health, within my physical health, within my spiritual health, within my emotional health, with everything, because I am the foundation of everything else that is around me. And if I am not stable, if I'm not grounded in what I am, who I am, and what I need to be doing, then everything else is going to be unstable in my life, and everything is going to wither away and die. And so much death has been happening in 2019. So much death. And I finally feel like I'm coming out of the cocoon. I feel very near in the future that there's going to be a lot more work being done, a lot more diving in, a lot more investing in myself in order to do the healing that I know that needs to be done. I feel like we're just taking it slow, easing back into things, it's a weird dynamic because we're living together, we're still married. It's basically all the same, essentially, aside from the way that we're relating to each other, the way that we're communicating and stuff like that. It's hard to explain unless you're experiencing it. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. And I just had to share it because I haven't talked about it with very many people, and I knew that I needed to share this before I share anything else in this space. That's just kind of the way spirit works with me, won't allow me to use my throat chakra if I don't share exactly what my heart needs to get out, if I don't unblock it with that thing that I haven't been sharing, that I have been hiding to a certain extent. So yeah,